What's good, guys? Fantasy Joe back here with my Week 11 waiver wire video. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. If you have any questions or comments, drop them in the comment section down below. I will respond as always. Start, sits, cuts, trade decisions, any of that stuff. I got you guys, so leave that comment. Let's hop into it. So at quarterback, first guy that I think is worth an add if you're looking for that long-term solution to your roster is Deshaun Watson. He's going to be back very soon, and when he does, he has a pretty nice schedule. Obviously comes back Week 13 against Houston. Then he's got Cincinnati, Baltimore, New Orleans, Washington, Pittsburgh. They've given up a lot of points to the quarterback position. Obviously, I think he'll be a little rusty to start the season, but by the time your playoffs get going, he could be a difference maker at the quarterback position for you. So that's a name to throw out there off the bat. Let's move on to the running back position. I've been telling people to add this guy for weeks, so hopefully they have. It's Rachaad White. Rachaad White, obviously, Leonard Fournette suffered a hip pointer injury. Rachaad White got the start last week anyway. 22 carries, 105 yards. Either way, even if Leonard Fournette plays, I expect Rachaad White to be very involved. And I think you can play him as an RB2 moving forward, maybe even an RB3, but definitely flex consideration even if Fournette is playing and involved. And if he's not as much involved as we think, I think he's an RB2. Another name I'll throw out there, Gus Edwards should be owned in every league. I really think he is going to be the guy when he gets back this week after the injury. Obviously, Kenyon Drake had a good game in his absence, but I think now that he's healthy off that hamstring, he is going to be a guy moving forward. Let's move to the wide receiver position because there's a lot of really good names this week. Christian Watson, he just had three touchdowns against Dallas. 8 targets. That's a big number. They came back to him even when he had the drops. He showed he can make that big play. I think he's going to be very involved in this offense. Romeo Doubs is hurt, probably done for a while. Watson looks to be the guy to benefit from that. It's going to be mainly him and Lazard, I think, moving forward. Definitely worth an add to me. Another name I'll throw out there that's worth an add, Kadarius Toney. With that Juju Smith-Schuster injury, he's probably going to miss at least another week. And he just looks like he's getting more and more involved in the offense. 5 targets. I just think he's worth an add with the type of athleticism that he has and the high potency of that Chiefs offense as well. Another name I'll throw out there, Treylon Burks. They just activated him recently. And 6 targets for him in his first game back. They desperately need wide receivers. He's actually the most talented one on the roster, so he has the opportunity to step up into that window and be really good for fantasy. So he's a guy I would definitely keep my eye on. Another guy, if he's out there in your league, this is a really good week for wide receivers. I got a lot of good names. Donovan Peoples-Jones, he's been very involved in recent weeks. 9 targets this last week, 5 for 99. You can play that, and if you just look at these recent weeks, pretty solid production kind of across the board, even though he hasn't got done in the touchdown department. But I think the touchdowns will come as the targets continue to. Another name I will throw out there, Paris Campbell. He's pretty involved in the first edition where we saw this Jeff Saturday offense. 9 targets, 7 for 76, and a tud. I think he's a talented guy when he's been healthy, and they've looked like they've wanted to keep him involved in the offense this year. So I do think he is worth an add if you're in a league. I would say my top adds at wide receiver position, though, just for his upside, would be Watson, Toney, and then Treylon Burks. I think those guys have the highest ceiling to me. And, yeah. Tight end, Foster Moreau, with the injury to Darren Waller and Hunter Renfrow, I think he'll be pretty involved on a weekly basis. And you can just do a lot worse than the tight end position, honestly. I'm not saying he's going to be great, but I do think if you're desperate, you still may go down. He's a solid tight end. You can put him as a back end tight end 1 probably moving forward. Obviously not a huge difference maker for your roster, but it's something. Moving on to the defensive position, one of my favorite streamers this week is the Bengals against Pittsburgh. Bengals and Jets, I think both of them are worth a stream. I would go with the Bengals over the Jets. New England's coming off a bye, and I think they'll have something ready for the Jets, but I still think they're a good play. If you guys made it to this point in the video, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you have any questions or comments, drop them in the comment section down below. I'll respond as always. This has been Fantasy Joe. Thank you guys so much for watching.